Imagine you're a world-class athlete, that you can perform virtually any physical activity with the greatest of ease. Imagine then what it would be like if all of that was taken away from you in a split second. When Chris Waddell took to the slopes on a December day nearly 6 years ago, for him it was just another day of training, just like another day at the office, if you will. But when his ski binding in a split second unexpectedly released, sending him into a devastating fall, Chris's life would be changed forever.
I'd been injured before, and I figured that it was just a matter of time, and it was a matter of overcoming this injury, and the permanency never really set in, especially not while I was recovering. So it took a long time, and I figured, I still figured that I was going to ski that year, and that didn't happen. But basically, I was in the hospital for 2 months, and then I went back to school right after that. I figured that I wanted to get back into mainstream life as quickly as I could, because then I'd learn how to deal with what I had to deal with, but I also wouldn't have time to feel sorry for myself or whatever.
Chris Waddell has certainly responded well to the adversity and has in fact pushed many false stigmas about people with disabilities aside. Chris never got lost in self-pity. Instead, he searched for ways to get his life back on track. Remarkably, the first place he turned was back to snow skiing.
I just got started right away. I mean, I bought a ski before I'd even skied. So that's something that's a little bit difficult to do, just because it is so expensive. Just getting started is the biggest part, just making the decision to get started. There are also a lot of places where you can borrow equipment. And I think it's a matter of getting in with people who are leading an active lifestyle. That's definitely it.
How does this sound for an active lifestyle? Snow skiing from November to March, wheelchair racing from April until October, water skiing, sailing, even hiking trails in a wheelchair. Chris has done everything he can to stop his disability from affecting the quality of his life. He recently appeared as a clothing model for companies such as Eddie Bauer and Patagonia. Ironically, many doors have been opened, particularly in the world of skiing, that may not have been opened before.
It's kind of interesting. I have looked at my accident as sort of a second chance, really. Getting into a monoski, essentially I went down to being a 6-year-old, being a beginner again. And I was able to go through that progression from a 6-year-old to a 14-year-old to an expert skier relatively quickly. But it was a second chance. It was a chance to go and do things over again, and to try not to make the same mistakes that I had made before. I felt like that I had never reached my potential when I was skiing able-bodied, so it was a chance to really put more emphasis on what I was doing with my mind, and hopefully when I had an opportunity, to take advantage of that opportunity. And I think that's been great, and I've actually risen to a higher level in terms of competition than I ever would have achieved.
The trophy case at the Waddell House is full of medals, including 4 Olympic and numerous national championships for monoskiing. Obviously, Chris has demonstrated an incredible will to dispel beliefs about people with disabilities through his accomplishments. Each day he tries to send a message to people with disabilities and able-bodied people as well, that there need not be any barriers that should stop them from living life to its fullest.
It's just a matter of time, and it's a matter of people getting out there, and a matter of trying to accept people. Often it's our responsibility to have people accept us the way that we want to be perceived, and that's something that's hard. That's something that's really hard to do, but I think it's also really necessary.
What makes Chris Waddell such a unique young man is his passion for a sport that seemed to take so much away from him. His courage to take back to the slopes and perform at his level makes us all want to say, never say never.